Good day, and welcome to What's Happening MoCo, an authentic, unscripted podcast from your Montgomery County government. Now, here's your host, Derek Kenny.
Good day, and welcome to What's Happening MoCo. I'm your guest host, Dr. Kisha Davis. It's my privilege on today's episode, we're focused on mental health and well-being. Our guest today is Marilyn Spenadel. She's a local mental health therapist with her Holistic Wellness Enrichment Center. Welcome to the program, Marilyn.
Hello.
Marilyn will be sharing 5 mindful self-care tips that can come in handy during challenging times. Before we go into those tips, let's learn a little bit more about her. Marilyn, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you to Derek for letting me pinch hit for him. As the county health officer, we know that mental health is so important for everybody, especially with what's going on right now and how stressed people are feeling. I would love for you to share just a little bit about yourself and how you got into this work.
All right. Thanks for asking. So it's my pleasure to be here. Everybody take a nice deep breath as we start our talk today. Take a nice breath in and out. Taking 3 deep breaths an hour, 3 times an hour can change your life. And what I am is a mental health therapist. I got my master's at Johns Hopkins. I went to Springbrook High School, so I'm from Maryland. Grew up here in Montgomery County. I've been a mental health therapist in the county now for about 16 years. I have a holistic center, Holistic Wellness Enrichment Center, and Authentically You Counseling in Rockville, because I think it's important for people to be able to have a place, a wellness center they can come to for stress and wellness. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I've had trauma, ancestral trauma are in my genes, and I know how to help people. I specialize in helping people let go of trauma, things that are happening in the world, any stress they might have, so they don't need to pass it down to the next generation. My dad was a Holocaust survivor, and I think because of that, he loved everyone and was very resilient. And that within him and his relatives, I feel like I'm helping the world with, to try to help people understand, which I believe, and people come to see me to get more spiritually connected to the world and themselves, and find a sense of peace sometimes when there is none in the world. I took this picture in Ocean City, Maryland. I ran to this one morning. I don't get up at 6:30 in the morning usually, but to me, the light in the sunlight is the light we all have in us, and how we can connect to others in darkness through the rays. And it's possible. And I do workshops about this in the community for helping professionals and anyone. And if anyone needs help with that, come to me. Call me. I always pick up the phone when people call, but also there's plenty of therapists that are willing to see you now. If you call Psychology Today or go to www.psychology.com, you can just put in your zip code and what you're looking for in your insurance, and you'll find people in your zip code to be able to help you.
Thank you. Well, what deep meaning this has for you.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, big time.
Wanting to help people in their trauma, but also recognizing the impact of intergenerational trauma, and how that can trickle down, and the impact of your family and how that drives and motivates you. And we are always happy to have a MoCo native on the show. So what an honor and a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
Yes, I see you've brought some tools that might be helpful, and maybe you might want to demonstrate some of those.
Yeah. Well, I could take you on a little short journey.
Sure.
Hopefully we can do this more often and maybe have a community event.
Absolutely.
For this kind of thing. But if you connect to your senses, sound, I have a little box here. I tell people about a 5 senses box to get out of your head of worry. Put in here like a box, things that smell good, that little bit of raisins, something that will help you kind of ground yourself in the here and now. Being more mindfully present is so important. So I can show you how this sounds, and close your eyes. We can take a few deep breaths to see what that's like. So how does that feel inside to hear that? How does that feel?
It feels so relaxing.
Good.
And, the tone really just kind of brings you back to your center, and is kind of that motivation to clear out everything else that's there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Isn't that beautiful?
It's beautiful.
Good. And let me just tell you, like if you can imagine the circle, and we have thoughts and feelings and behaviors 24/7. This is a circular loop that can be positive or negative. If one of these things, behaviors, thoughts, feelings, behaviors, one's negative, the whole thing can become negative. But if you change your thoughts, or eat something healthy, or take a breath, or feel your felt sense. That's what you feel when you're feeling that. Your
Yeah.
sense of being inside, the whole thing can become more positive. So you have more control than you think. And if you could try to focus on what you can control instead of what you can't, life can be so much sweeter. And and transcending into your moments, just to being with somebody, or really be with them, and not thinking about the past or the future. To enjoy like a dinner, to really, really, really enjoy it every little bit, so you don't rush through it. But to be
Yeah.
mindfully present can help anybody's life.
I love that. I often, would counsel patients when we're talking about eating and the importance of mindful eating, and how often you sit down and eat something and don't even remember what it was, what it tasted like. You go out for a fancy dinner and don't even pay attention to it. So really to take that pause, to enjoy your food, to savor the taste and the smell and all of those things, and and to give thanks for it as well, for the
Yes.
folks that have prepared it. So maybe we can move into some of your 5 tips, and I think there's a lot
sure.
of things that you've brought with you to help demonstrate some of those 5 tips.
Yes, to bring it more to life, I want to help people learn to
Absolutely.
actively listen. Or not actively listen. Well, active listening is really important, but actively live. Actively live is so important. To feel
Absolutely.
present and enjoying your moments can you can remember these things. It's a freezing day outside, so I'm trying to bring some sunshine into.
That's right. We've got the sunshine here from the
Yes.
beach. We all wish we were at the beach right now.
I know, and you can. I tell my kids, we went to Jamaica before. When it's freezing outside, think Jamaica.
Right.
Warm,
That's right.
warm thoughts, warm people.
That's right.
And that's
That's right.
wonderful. Okay, so here's some tips, you all. So to mindfully pause daily, to find peace of mind and body, practice mindfulness, like I said, in meditation. Create a practice of self-care is so important. Number one.
Number
it's-
1, creating a practice of self-care.
Yes.
I love that.
Thank you. Instead of having a cup that's half full or half empty, have a picture nearby of internal resources, like things I'm talking about, sound, what you love to do, and what makes you feel like your authentic self. Dance.
Yeah.
Do something every day to have fun. And those are like internal resources you can connect to. And also I meditate with people and help them find the light that's in them that they maybe have been missing. Sometimes people during their life, they kind of do things for others too much instead of giving to themselves.
So think about those things ahead of time. What drives you? What brings you peace? And have that stockpile of things that are going to help to center you and bring calm into your life. That's so great.
Yeah, good. And have like a strength kit of these ideas. So when you're stressed, you can go to it. I give people these stickers that say, let your light and heart shine, deep breathe to find peace, your strength kit. And so you could just put things in there, or make it yourself and just get things. You could journal about what you're grateful for, what you're grateful about yourself first. I think it's so important to write down, and then what you're grateful about your
Absolutely.
life and the day. And so many things to tell you all. I can't do it all in a half an hour. And one more thing, 3 questions you can ask your family. The first question, they're about compassion. I thought of these over COVID when some families were coming to me. They weren't getting along well. What did you do today to show yourself compassion? Number 1, they were meeting today. We're trying to put good things out into the world of hope. Number 2, what did someone do for you? Not to make you dinner or lunch, which is really nice, but how did they show you how to be more compassionate for yourself? Like teach you something that can help you. And then the last thing is what did you do for somebody else to show them
That's awesome.
compassion? Smile at people is so important. Like this right here, smiling is good for your soul.
Smiling is good for your soul. So I love those. So how did you show yourself compassion? How did someone show you compassion?
Yes.
And how are you going to show compassion to others?
Yes.
What a great kind of mantra to live by and to
Yes.
think about that every day.
Right. And smiling at somebody and feeling what that feels like internally when you smile at someone, and they can pass it down to the next person.
And we know that those endorphins from smiling medically, actually, the more you smile, the more you laugh. I do a whole talk on laugh yoga.
Nice.
But we know how that really does get those positive endorphins going. So that's great. So
Yeah, good.
what's number 2?
Okay, yes. So here we go. So the pause daily is number 1, and having a mindful practice. Stay physically active because that can help you think better. I did the elliptical this morning for like a half an hour so that my mind would be better, more present. And it's so important to be physically active. And they say if you don't use it, you lose it. So try to move like at least a half an hour a day. Cardiologists say to take a walk outside with your dog. And then when you walk outside, mindfully connect to nature. I take people on a nature walk when they're at my office. If it's a nice day, we'll walk and talk, which is beautiful. You connect to nature. You really look at a tree like you've never looked at it before.
That's
Touch the
amazing.
tree, look at the sky and the everything.
And we know how much physical activity, we talk about the benefits for our heart and for our waistline, but there's also so many mental health benefits. We know that when folks get out and walk, commune with nature, it helps to decrease those stress and anxiety levels and our mental health long-term in terms of memory. It's the thing that has been shown to help prevent and delay Alzheimer's. And so many benefits for walking. Getting outdoors is even better when you can. And we know sometimes it's cold, like it's been really cold. But as much as you can get out in small bursts and long bursts, so that's just great to reinforce.
Good. And appreciate what you're seeing outside. Really mindfully connect to it.
Yeah.
It changes everything.
Yeah.
And life can be so much better that way. So that's that. And also drink and eat healthy too. Like 6 to 8 glasses of water supposedly is good. And ask your doctor if that's a good idea. And to eat healthy food, like vegetables, maybe if you're really hungry when you get home instead of nibbling on chips and stuff, can fill you up a little bit.
Yeah, you got to nourish your mind, body, and soul, right?
Yes.
Putting good food in so that good stuff comes out,
Yes.
know, and there has been good evidence that when you're especially eating a lot of those ultra-processed foods, they're not good for us physically. We know about, the way it weighs down our hearts and our waistlines, in terms of fat, but it also weighs us down, mentally. And there have been lots of studies that when you eat better, you feel better. So I think
Just
so
try
glad
it.
that you bring that up.
And don't try, if you had a bad day, tomorrow can be a different day. Small
Absolutely.
increments of changes can make a big difference.
Yeah.
And okay. So the next one is mindfully connect with yourself and others, which we talked about. Have a good support system is so important. That's the number one thing that keeps people living longer, older people. If they live in a community with nice people and they do activities that they love and just try to connect to people. Because when people isolate themselves, then usually, it's unhealthy for their mental health and physical health.
The importance of connection. I know, COVID was really hard on our seniors because they had to be disconnected from so many folks. And
Right.
Folks in Montgomery County know my grandmother's 106. And a lot of that I credit to her community, to the folks that are around her and still being able to connect up to folks, telephone and video and all of those things really do make a difference. So check in on that person that you haven't heard from in a while. And it does make a difference for them and for you, for the person giving and receiving that phone call.
Good. And you both get it. It's really important for both of you to make long-term memories.
Absolutely.
Yay. So what is the next one? And also everyone wants to feel that they matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so important to check in with people and really listen to them. As I said in the beginning, active listening as well as active living. Repeat back what people say just to make sure you heard it the right way. Because I could say the same thing to 10 people in the room and each person interpret it differently. So it's good to know what they heard you say.
Yeah.
And if you're going to try to help somebody, the sandwich communication, you've heard of that? You start with something positive and then say something in the middle that will help them or help you to help them or you want to work on, and then you end with something positive.
Yeah.
So it's easier to understand it.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Are we at 5?
We're at 3.
We're at 3. Oh my
2
goodness,
more.
we're only at 3.
So funny. So and
These are great tips.
2 more things. Then I want to do something, tell about the stop technique and another thing to help people. But prioritize sleep is really important. Having 6 to 8, not 6, 8 hours sleep, I'm sure is ideal. Because people often come to me and they're depressed because, and I've noticed, and we talk about it, they haven't had enough sleep. So depression can,
It trickles down, the sleep in terms of our, just your ability to function the next day, but also depression and mood and weight and blood pressure and diabetes, all of those things we know are connected if you're not getting good sleep. It's part of my 5 health tips too.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And then there's a 5 boxes that I'll show you this. I did a sleep workshop one time at my office. In here I have things that connect the senses, like something that smells good, like I don't know if I have time for this.
Do you have tips for people who might have trouble falling asleep?
Yes. Well, this really, really helps people. Like have something soft, a nice bells in here, something that smells really good. Because when you connect to these things, you can have the thoughts kind of drift away. And also, this is really good. Before you go to bed, if people are in their thoughts a lot and are worried a lot, write down things that you're worried about or a list for tomorrow and put it in the drawer and shut the drawer next to you.
Yes.
And you'll have time tomorrow and say, I'm just going to worry or look at that for this time to this time, not the whole day worry. Well, often if you put it away, then it's not such an issue anymore.
Yeah, write it down, get it out of your head,
Yes.
and then put it away.
That helps, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And meditate before you go to bed. There's so many apps.
So many apps. And, end the day with gratitude. So thinking of what are those things at the end of the day so that your brain is perseverating on the positive from the day.
Always. And then you go to sleep maybe thinking positive thoughts and think of something positive you want to dream about. And there's a better chance it will be a positive dream.
Absolutely.
And you'll wake up happier. Yeah, and that's so important. And what you're grateful for about yourself and others. It's so important to think about.
That's so important.
Right. No matter what. And no matter what, there's hope, even in the darkness.
Even in the darkness.
Right.
And I think your family is evidence of that,
Yes.
right? Even as a Holocaust survivor.
My father was a survivor and he felt so guilty. He's the only one who survived. So I learned how to let his things that kind of trickled down in me, how to let it go with a technique called advanced integrative therapy. And it's amazing. To me, it's like the best thing since sliced bread. I learned it as a therapist and can help others learn to let go of anything that they're suffering from, even if the time that they're suffering. Right now, if anybody's stressed, they can learn a technique that can let them go of the stress, wherever it is in the body. I teach it to them. I don't do it to them, so they can have it for the rest of their life to do it. And then let go of the trigger. This from the top down through their chakras, which I didn't believe in, but they really, there's such a thing as, energy centers in the body that hold on to stress. And then when we do that, after that, we bring in and instill a new positive core belief it's called advanced integrative therapy. And this has changed people's lives, and it's just amazing. And it's something you really can't think about. You just feel it, the felt sense within you.
Yeah.
You feel the shift.
Folks need to know about these techniques. Is there any of that you can share with us today? I don't want to shortchange it, so it might be longer than the time that we have.
Yes. How much time do we have left?
Oh, how much time do we have left? I think.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
15,
I was talking so fast. I didn't know. Sorry, I had my watch. Oh my gosh, there's so much to tell you all. There's two things I want to tell you all. There's something called, this is something a little bit different called the pod technique. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people are feeling anxiety. It's a technique I can teach you right now.
That would be great.
It's a visualization. If people are visual, you can do it. And if not, just follow my voice. So we'll do this now.
Okay.
I'll start with this. And then I just want to teach something that people can have. They can listen to it again and again. And,
yes.
And it can change anything inside if it makes sense, if you're visual. And if you're not, there's other techniques. So close your eyes.
Okay. All right. I'm a willing participant.
Thank you. Good. And if it's ever too much for you as we're doing this, in the audience too, open your eyes and try to get settled in your body and re-grounded and walk around if you feel your emotions escalating too much, because it's not supposed to do that.
Oh.
It's supposed to give you peace. So here we go. Try to get centered in your body. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And exhale deeply and completely out of your mouth like you're blowing away a feather. And try to feel it like you are in your body, that your feet are on the ground. You feel your back against the chair. You feel the energy in the room or the smells in the room or the temperature on your skin. Any taste you might have in your mouth from earlier today. And again, take a nice deep breath in. Connect to your breath and exhale deeply and completely. And a couple things. Imagine we're on some safe water right now. If you like water, take a breath in and exhale what you don't need that's within you into the water right now. If you could do it, what would that feel like? How would your body feel? Just try to bring yourself some compassion. And then one more thing, pretend like there's clouds above us. Beautiful clouds, whatever color you want them to be. Take a breath in and exhale into these clouds and see any kind of angst you might have within drift away. And then take a breath in and breathe out. Breathe in, do a body scan, and go to a place in your body you might have stress. And sit in that area. Accepting how you feel is so important. Validate your feelings and just breathe. The inhale of acceptance and the exhale of letting things go can be so helpful. And then a couple more things. Imagine there's a beautiful light above you. This could be your best self or compassion for yourself or just some peace in the world. And breathe in. Breathe this light over your shoulders to relax your shoulders. Breathe into your heart, this beautiful light, which with each exhale, especially on the inhale, have this light in your heart grow bigger and bigger to give you peace, whatever you need right now. You can see in this light, and you can even draw this when you're done with this exercise. We all have the ability, this could be one of your internal resources to go to whenever you're at stress. In stress, you can be positive too. It could be positive stress to motivate you. Okay, now we're going to do the pod technique. This might be too much for you all these different things, but if you can go to a place in your body now that you do have stress. So feelings are called feelings because people feel them. And so let's say it's in your heart. Of course, get your heart checked out, or your stomach. Go to a place in your body right now that you have stress to do with your life right now, or whatever the stress is from. And you don't have to define yourself by any stress in your life, but if you can just go there and put a color to the stress in your body, or whatever this is you don't want to hold on to. And once you've done that, breathe in and breathe out, and move this color up a few inches. It's an NLP technique, by the way, neuro-linguistic programming. Bring the color back down where it was. Okay? And then bring the color out in front of you as far as you can put it away. And the feeling, okay? I'm doing a little bit quicker. Now bring it back as close as you can bear and change it to a color that you love. And that can change everything. Now I'm going to count to 3. And when I get to 3, you decide if you want to get rid of this color and feeling forever, or keep it the color that you love more. So you can talk about it or journal about it more. And so if that makes sense, okay, I'll do this now. 1, 2, 3.
That's amazing.
Really? How did you feel?
Yeah.
It is amazing.
It's so, calming and centering, and I kind of go to the pain I get in my hip and like, well, can I get that out of there? And so that feels a little bit looser now. And, I think just the momentary pause, I think it feels like a long time. I didn't time it, but I know it wasn't that long. It was only a minute or two, which also I think is a good reminder for folks that it doesn't take that long. I think sometimes feel like people get so concerned that if you tell them to meditate or do yoga, that it's going to take so much time out of their day. And it just takes a few moments to center and pause, and to come back with more focus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent. And the breath is so important, connecting to your breath,
Yeah.
right? It's so
Yeah.
important because that's your life force, and you're acknowledging your life when you breathe in. And if you do it a few times an hour, like at 12, 12:20, 12:45, take 3 deep breaths, can change everything. And something else, this is really good to do. Let's say you're stressed. And this is something that really, really helps you. Clap your hands, rub your hands together, and then put your hands over your heart. Close your eyes and take a nice deep breath in. A couple of breaths.
This is great. MoCo, we are getting so many great tips
I'm so
today.
glad.
Yeah, I hope folks are writing these down. We'll have them on the website
Yes.
after, but so many great tips, things that you can use in the moment to just bring yourself some calm in the midst of a crazy
Good.
day.
Yes.
Maybe you just left a meeting and
Right. Or before a meeting,
before a
transition
meeting,
home.
taking that transition, take that moment for yourself.
Isn't that like
to reset.
magic?
It is. It's really amazing.
I love that. Okay, so the 5th tip.
Okay, number 5.
Yes, number 5, the big drum roll. Seek professional help when you need it. That's the right fit. It's
Yes.
so important. Sometimes you might see someone and they don't get you, or it's too much cognitive therapy. A lot of cognitive therapists are coming to me now so they can learn these somatic techniques. It's a different way of doing
Yeah.
therapy.
Tell us a little bit about how to find the right person.
Yes.
And maybe how to know if the person you have is the wrong person.
That's so good to ask.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I said psychologytoday.com it's the best resource. But a lot of people are telling me too that they haven't found anybody that will call them back.
Mm.
So if you could be patient with people, you put in your zip code, you put in what you're looking for or what things have happened to you. If you have diabetes, if you have any physical problems, sometimes people specialize in that. I do with diabetes and physical problems too, and cancer. I help people that are suffering with that. So you just put in what you want, and hopefully you get things back. You can always write me or call me, and if I'm not the right fit, it's fine. I can put it on a listserv that I have attached, connected to about 1,000 people on a listserv to see if there's anyone, for you. And it should be easy. It should be easy to find a therapist that takes your insurance. I take insurance, most of them.
Yeah. And there are lots of resources. There's also online resources for folks.
Yes. And you have some too, part of the county, right?
Yes.
Special
and
numbers
so
to call.
there is a number to call for the county. So the Crisis Center, 240-777-4000. If folks are experiencing a crisis, the Crisis Center on Picard Street is open 24/7. And so we want folks to know that is a resource available for folks regardless of insurance. We do also have mental health counseling for children and adults. So again, folks can call the Crisis Center and they can help get them connected up.
And I have a list of references you all can put online that I've given a lot of workshops. And something called Hope Connections. If anyone's suffering with cancer, they're amazing.
I think
you've heard of them?
I haven't heard of them, but I think it's important that you mention the mind-body connection. So
yes, huge.
And the fact that you specialize in folks with diabetes, what I would see with, when I'm seeing patients with diabetes is, that it's a big diagnosis. And coming to terms with that, and sometimes there can be a depression or anxiety associated with that, cancer as well, hypertension. And so the practice I was at before had, we had a mental health therapist there, and that took away some of the stigma and fear when people might be struggling with controlling their medical condition. There's often, some mental health tips and tricks that can help them with that as well. So I love that you are really integrating the mind and body in that. That's so important.
Yes. And when your mind's at peace, then your body's more at peace.
Absolutely.
And vice versa. I don't know if there's time. I would love to teach tapping.
Yes, let's do some tapping.
Okay. You know what it is? You've done it?
We did some, yes. Yeah.
You get it. It's tapping on meridian points in the body that hold on to stress. And so, I'll leave you one of these if you want. You can look over this.
That would be great.
I always give this to people that see me, and I do workshops. I give a lot of helpful tools.
I hope our audience is, Joe, you're getting all these free tips.
I don't mind. I don't mind. I want to help the world. That's, why I'm here, I think.
This is great. Well, yeah, let's do some tapping for folks.
So, this is something that they're going to put on. I'll leave it for you. You can print it out and all that. So tapping is tapping on meridian points that hold on to stress. And I'll show you where they are. They're here, 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 here. This is a chakra, and down here. And when you tap on them, you say, even though I'm stressed, or even though whatever, it could be anything, I deeply and completely accept myself. What do those words mean to you?
Regardless of what's going on, it's going to be okay.
Yes.
And I'm going to be okay.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. And don't define yourself by your diagnosis or what's happening around you or in the world. You're so much more than that. The light, in you, in everyone. We're all here to help each other, I think, and uplift each other. I think that's really important.
Absolutely.
So let's do this. And you close your eyes.
Okay.
And I'll tell you where to tap. You say, you tap on the side of your hand. Even though I'm stressed.
Even though I'm stressed.
I deeply.
And completely.
Accept myself. Excellent. And then the top of your head. Even though I'm stressed. I deeply. And completely. Accept myself. And then inside of your eyebrow. Even though I'm stressed. I deeply and completely accept myself. And then outside of your eyebrow, even though I'm stressed. I deeply and completely accept myself. And then a few more under your eye, even though I'm stressed. I deeply and completely accept myself. Under your nose, even though I'm stressed. I deeply and completely accept myself. And then your chin. Even though I'm stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Two more. Even though I'm stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Then at the bottom of your ribs. Even though I'm stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. Then you put your hands up on your lap and take a few cleansing breaths. I'm more relaxed. Are you?
Yeah. I'm more relaxed. I hope those of you who are watching at home are feeling more relaxed too.
Me too. And if it's too much to do all that, you can just do this and say the same thing. It's a shortcut. Even though I'm stressed, I deeply and completely accept myself. I've done this for like 15 years, and now everything gets so, your body remembers that muscle memory. It gets very relaxed.
So when you're sitting in that meeting and you're feeling stressed, put your hands down out of sight and just, you can tap away and folks won't know.
Or just deep breathe. They might know you're doing something.
Yep. Oh, what a great tip.
Yeah, good. So are we done? I don't know if we have more time.
Do you want to share?
Sure.
Some of these?
Yeah.
So we have a few pictures. We're going to talk through them and we'll put them up on the screen so you can see.
So I don't know if you can see this, you all. This says, let there be sunshine in your soul today. Try to do something that makes you feel like that you love to do. Dance, sing, cook, do something that just, that you love doing, and that can help you bring sunshine in your soul. And then you give that to others, and you can help others find that also. And if we could spread love as quickly as we could spread hate and negativity, what an amazing world we would live in. So open up your heart to everything if you can. There's a book called Untethered Soul. I have it down here somewhere. I brought a lot of things by Michael Singer. And the first part and middle part is all about not being tethered to other people's stuff and your own stuff. Just to be not even tethered, but just keep your heart open. Because when you close your heart, you push your feelings down. That's where a lot of sickness can come from, I think.
Absolutely.
So acknowledge your feelings. All feelings are okay unless they're too much sadness and feeling like a cloud's over you. Then you call up and you find a therapist. And finding a good match, like I said, we really didn't talk about it. Someone you feel comfortable opening up with, non-judgmental. You feel like you're in a safe place with them. And they listen to you and they get you. And go more than once, go a few times. It could really help. And, you could have goals if you like. And have like when you get to a certain point, you've had enough. And some of my clients come just once a month to check in, which is nice.
Yeah.
And then one more is this one is really pretty. And this is just having your picture of internal resources that you can fill up and send out into the world, and vice versa. It comes back to you.
I love that.
Yeah.
How beautiful.
Take any of these.
Well, you've imparted, Marilyn, you've imparted so much wisdom to us today.
Thank you.
It's these wonderful top 5 tips. So practice mindfulness.
Yes.
Get physically active, mindfully connect with yourself and others, prioritize sleep, and seek professional help. And don't be afraid to do so.
Yes, when you had help. And my biggest thing I want to tell you all is, let's say, God forbid, you're thinking of suicide. Please get help. Don't think twice about it. Go to a hospital. They're very helpful. I used to work at Adventist Behavior Health. Go to Shady Grove and then Adventist. It's a psychiatric hospital's right next door. Just to make sure you're safe, go there. Bring someone there. Don't question it too much. Right? You don't want anything to happen to you. You need to be safe, or a relative.
Absolutely. Don't hold that inside.
No. There's always help out there. Advocate for yourself. It's so important. Advocating for what's important for you, for your family, what you need, and until someone listens. Keep on talking until someone in the community or a relative listens to you and gives you the help you need.
Absolutely. So many great tips you've shared. Any last final words before we wrap up?
Oh my God. There's always hope. Always hope. Don't ever give up, you all. I have some of these for you guys. Some rocks. They're called self-care stones. I was giving these out at my office just to show people for themselves, to have self-care, when you're stressed, to rub on something that is smooth. Get out of your head. The head can be a dangerous place. Thinking too much, the monkey brain, they call it. If you're
good reminder, get out of your bed and having something to hold on to.
Here, if you like.
That's right. I've got my stone.
Yeah. And just don't give up on yourself or others. Try to make small changes, exercise, connect to animals, connect to people, and try to mindfully feel present within your body. Your felt sense is that energy inside of you connect to, and it's there, and it can give you peace whenever you need it.
Well, this is wonderful, Marilyn. Thank you so much for joining us. You've shared so many wonderful tips. My heart is open. I feel so calm and relaxed, at peace. We just appreciate you coming in and sharing your tips. We'll have to have you back. I will turn the podcast seat back over to Derek for the next time. We missed him today, but it's a pleasure being here.
My pleasure. Peace to everybody, and love is always the answer, I believe. And just try to love yourself and others, but don't forget to fill up your glass, your cup, your pitcher first before you fill up anyone else's.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Sure. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for listening to What's Happening MoCo. Please subscribe via your favorite podcasting platform and follow us on Facebook. This podcast is brought to you by County Cable Montgomery, your source for news and information from the Montgomery County government. Connect with us via cable, Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube by searching for County Cable MoCo.